The gateway discovered beneath the surface of New Romulus is prepared and ready for activation. Because the Romulan Republic is dedicated to sharing the gateway and all we learn from it with our allies, we are inviting representatives of the Romulan Republic, the Federation, and the Klingon Defense Force to join us on New Romulus for the first trip through the gateway. I would be honored if you would join us, Dahar Master.
It would be my pleasure.
As part of our excavations into this area, we found artifacts from a much older civilization that once lived on this world. These primitive people appeared to share the planet with their gods, in actuality a species with a much higher technological level than their own. These Dewans were abandoned when their gods left the world, but over time developed their own culture and technology. Then they found the gateway. It's Iconian, but it must have seemed almost magical to the Dewans. Using geothermal energy, they managed to activate the gateway briefly. The reaction was too unstable. The geothermal tap caused a chained volcanic reaction that devastated the planet. Our scientists say that ash clouded the sky, dropping temperatures and dramatically altering the climate of much of the habitable land. Radiation levels spiked, and many of the Dewans died. The survivors retreated to underground shelters, but it was the end of their civilization. Only the flora and fauna that could adapt survived, until we arrived. You were instrumental in helping us discover the secrets of this world. Now that we've found the Iconian Gateway, we feel that it could be a boon to the Romulan Republic. The entire galaxy will be at our fingertips.
Welcome to New Romulus.
I am Frederick, and I serve as the liaison officer for Datan. As you can see, we've stabilized the environment in this area as part of our investigations of the Gateway. Protective gear is no longer necessary. Admiral Krerik is waiting for you in the Gateway chamber.
Welcome.
The Romulan Republic is here, along with representatives from our allies in the Federation and Klingon Empire, to witness the dawn of a new age. Harnessing the power of this gateway will change everything for our people. Yes, we must be cautious. The Dewans tried to do the same, and it destroyed them, but we have been studying this gateway since Dahar Master Kramat helped us discover it, and we believe that we understand where the Dewans went wrong. We now have the technology and knowledge we need to successfully adapt Iconian technology for our own use. We have a few final adjustments to make, and then we'll be ready to...
You think you have corrected the issue? Consider what happened to the Dewans, and what the result would be if the Romulans lose a second homeworld. I have encountered Iconian gateways twice before. In both those instances, the finest commanders I ever served found the technology to be too dangerous to preserve. It is difficult to believe that you have managed to do what they could not.
Are there problems?
No problem.
Ambassador Worf was invited here because of his experience with Iconian gateways. He has been voicing his concerns with our decision to activate the gateway. My science teams are convinced that they have solved the problems of the past, but I fear that, like the ambassador, some of my engineers have their doubts. Datan and the Senate believe this to be an important step for the New Republic, but it is a step that we must take with our allies. We respect their opinions and want them to join us in this venture, just as the Bajorans and the Federation worked in tandem when the wormhole to the Gamma Quadrant was discovered. In the interest of easing some concerns, Ambassador, I invite you to take a final check of the data. Perhaps the Dahar Master would be willing to assist you. I am ready to assist you, Ambassador.
Acceptable. Admiral Krerik, I want to start by reviewing your science team's work.
Understood.
Corin, daughter of Grilka, captain of the mighty IKS Fortescue, and victor of 100 battles!
I would much rather be on the front than here, but the Romulans are our allies now, and they have asked for our assistance. The High Council has dispatched the flagship of the fleet to show the strength of our friendship.
Iconian gateways can open up anywhere. You don't have to have another gateway to connect to.
That means the Iconians could show up anywhere. No wonder they controlled most of the quadrant. Guess that means we need some extra firepower if they show up here.
Commander Tiaru Jirak of the RRW Lisette.
The Republic has advanced enough that we need a flagship on par with the Borderskew. I have the honor of commanding her. My father was a Romulan admiral. He wanted to change the galaxy for me, for all children. He wanted us to be able to live our lives in peace, to be free. He was betrayed for his beliefs and lost everything. I grew up being watched by the Tal Shiar. I heard the whispers that said I was the child of a traitor. When Datan told me of his plan, I knew this was the world that my father would have wanted. I left the Empress's fleet and never looked back.
I'm sorry, did you need something?
I don't mean to be so distracted, but it's taken a lot of work and a lot of late nights to get here. Finally, we're ready. We've considered everything that could go wrong and planned for any contingency. The D-ones weren't as advanced technologically as we are. They hadn't even become a warp culture when they tried to repower the gateway. We have advantages they could only dream of having. There's some risk, of course, but anything worth doing has some risk. We wouldn't be standing on a new homeworld for our people if we hadn't been willing to take a chance and challenge the Tal Shiar. How can I help?
With all due respect to you, Ambassador, I don't think there's anything to worry about.
If you want, I'll review the data my team has collected with you. Dahar Master Kramak can review the power variance coefficient numbers for the Alpha, Gamma, and Delta monitors. Maybe I do need another set of eyes. I've had a lot of trouble sleeping. I will find those numbers.
Oh, the gateway? Fascinating. Simply fascinating.
The way the teams here have used alternative energy sources to supply the immense amount of power needed to reactivate it is... Of course, the Federation Science Council's position on Iconian technology is that it is very dangerous, and if used at all, it should be with extreme caution. Just the opportunity to study Iconian tech is exciting, but to actually see it in use, I never thought I'd have an opportunity like this.
Program initialized. Select monitoring program. Program initialized.
Were you able to find the coefficient numbers for me?
Alpha is 14.
Alpha is 14.
Gamma
That looks
is
correct. Yes, that's
47.
correct.
Delta
Gamma is 47.
38. As you can see, Ambassador, we have all the numbers perfectly in order. Does that satisfy you?
Your numbers may be correct, but have you ever witnessed the power of one of these gateways outside of a holodeck? Well, I have. I was invited here to share my knowledge with those willing to listen. Even the best plans seldom survive contact with the enemy.
Perhaps we should speak with the engineering teams.
Yes, they've been asking for the final power variance numbers.
I'm sure Commander Mayek would appreciate the newest set of data. We will speak to him next.
I appreciate you speaking up about your concerns.
If our projections are off at all, we could end up freezing to death in caves just like the D-ones. This gateway is an extremely valuable resource, but is it worth losing everything we've built here? I have new numbers for you.
Finally.
Do you want a full-time job here? I could use some reliable help. These aren't too bad, better than what we had before. Maybe this will work after all. Well, that's good.
I agree that the simulations look promising, but I still have some concerns.
So do I, but we're on a deadline.
My team has the geothermal tap operational, and with the proper numbers, we can finally align the power flow to the gateway and activate it again. I'd be happy to discuss your concerns with you, Ambassador, but I'll need someone to help with the final commands to raise the pylons while I monitor the power levels. Dahar Master, could you help? All my team are busy with the tap, and it will give the Ambassador and I some time to talk. I'd ask Adrana to do it, but she's got her hands full as it is. Datan invited you here, Ambassador. He had a good reason, and he's a good man. I trust him. If he thinks you have something important to say, we need to listen.
Perhaps we can find a solution that will ensure the safety of all of us. Show me your projections.
I'll activate the consoles and monitor the power readings.
The numbers are good, but something seems off.
This gateway may not be exactly like the others we've encountered. Off?
Agreed. Sensor readings from the gateways I've encountered were significantly different than this. Could it be because of the power source you're using?
Readings like this make me wonder.
You open a door, and that means there's got to be something on the other side. Maybe this isn't a one-way trip. Do you think there's something on the other side trying to get in?
The numbers aren't saying that exactly, but it's a real possibility.
I understand what the gateway means to my people, but I'm concerned about what could happen if we open it without taking more precautions. Can we add more security?
Captains Sean and Corin have been consulting with Kararek's security forces. I will ask Corin to deploy some of her finest warriors. I do not know Captain Sean, but he commands an enterprise. He must be a formidable man. He also has less enthusiasm for activating the gateway than others here. I am certain he has considered all the options.
I'll speak with Sean and see what our options are.
How may I assist you?
Do you have a moment?
The team looks like it's almost done with the final checks. Make it quick.
Actually, Ambassador Worf has some concerns about the gateway. And because he can't come over and chat with a Starfleet officer without raising some eyebrows in his own delegation, he's sending you instead. Interesting. Tell him I share in his concerns about the gateway. What does he think we should do? He wants an option to neutralize the gateway if we need to.
I'll admit I've been dubious about this project from the start.
Some things are too powerful for anyone to have. Still, it's my job to do what Starfleet Command orders, so the Enterprise is here to assist and represent the Federation. But it's also my job to protect my ship and the Federation, so I had my engineers work up some contingency plans. If Corin is bringing in extra ground troops to deal with any unwelcome visitors, that should help. My chief engineer worked up a few small spatial charges with enough power to take out the gateway. If we attach them to the base of the pylons, we'll be able to stop a disaster before it starts. I don't want to use them unless we have to. We're here at the Romulans' invitation, after all, but it's always good to have a backup plan. I'll take care of it.
What are you... Ah, good idea.
If all the preparations are complete, I see no reason to delay.
Prepare to activate the gateway. You couldn't have said half a line?
Initiating final power transfer.
Power output rising. Levels are within expected parameters.
Activating gateway. Got a spike. Attempting to compensate. No good.
Abort! Abort the mission!
Shut it down!
Detonating charges.
No effect! Get everyone out of the chamber!
Now what?
Into the gateway! Now! I knew that gateway would be trouble. We can't get a reading on where we are or how far we've traveled. The best we can figure out is that we are not in normal space anymore. And we are trapped. The scientists have been able to get a few readings from New Romulus, but the gateway was damaged. We cannot use it to return. A few people managed to grab some supplies on their way through the gateway. They might have something useful. Check the crates. Assist with the wounded. Once we have seen to the immediate problems, then we can worry about getting out of here.
Understood.
I believe I have found a way to open this door, but it will take 2 of us to override the controls. I think I can open this door, but I will need your assistance. Once I override the security protocols, you will need to rewire the primary motivator to release the locking clamps. Are you ready?
Sure.
Now, to see what lies beyond. Interesting. Are you detecting nitrous levels of spectral radiation? My tracker shows this to be a complex of some kind. There's another large room further down this hallway. I'm picking up something down this door. As much as I hate to say this, we will cover more ground if we split up.
Agreed. We should keep in contact as we search.
Commander Nignon will accompany me.
If there's a way home, we will find it.
I will accompany you.
I'll organize a security detail to remain here. I'll take care of things here. Good luck and watch your back. We don't know who else could be in this place, or what they want.
Come. We will find the way out.
Environmental and life support controls. Data logs show that the environment was recently adjusted from settings non-compatible with most human life.
I'm picking up some odd tetrion readings. Now we've been able to confirm that we're in subspace, but there's nothing conclusive yet.
I think we're in a medical facility, although it's not like any sickbay I've ever seen before. Interesting. Sean?
This facility is mostly automated. That doesn't mean it's abandoned.
We're keeping watch for automated security. Nothing we can't handle yet, but we've found something interesting in this room. It looks like some sort of targeting array. I'm going to try to find more about it. Perhaps it's a way out.
Maybe it's a way to open a gateway to a location without a corresponding one on the other end.
I'll check in more when we know. Sean out. Ambassador, I think we should take a closer look at that large console.
Good idea. If there is a targeting system and a medical bay, we may find the equivalent of a shuttle bay as well.
Agreed. This is the main control console for the environmental controls in this facility. The environment can be set to accommodate a wide range of humanoid and non-humanoid species. Whoever used these controls last set the environment for a breathable oxygen-nitrogen mixture that is standard for most humanoid species. You cannot determine how long it has been since they were last accessed.
We have not heard from the security detail. We need to check in with them.
Security detail, answer.
Are you sure something here is not blocking our communicators? This is suspicious. We should check in with Karn and Sean's teams.
Captain Korn, come in.
Corin here.
We haven't found anything in this direction yet. I'll return to our starting location and find out what's happened. Good luck. Sean?
I've found what appears to be some sort of targeting system.
That's strange. Captain Sean, what is it?
Did you hear that? We should... Ensign, look out!
Captain Sean's team is in trouble. Hurry!
Sean's tricorder. It's still recording, but there's a 4-minute gap in the file. You find a Starfleet issue phaser, but this one has had several adjustments made to maximize its power. The work is impressive. The remains of a comm badger smashed on the floor along with a smear of blood.
No sign of Sean's team. We are not alone here.
It's a standard issue toolkit. You know the incident with Sean was carrying one like this. This appears to be a targeting system of some sort, with settings for 6 coordinates. It shares some characteristics with a transporter, but the technology is so far beyond what you've seen before that you're not sure what you would be able to operate it.
This does not bode well. We should rendezvous with Korn and the others. Gone. They would not have left without their supplies or weapons. Can you hail them? We must find Korn and the others.
The only way left to us is the path Corrin took. We may find the answers we seek there. We need to hurry. We're all in danger here.
Wait. I know this place. I have been here before. This table. I saw one just like it when I served on the Enterprise. Blood. Klingon and Pharosan. Corrin put up a fight. There are data entries here that correspond to our missing people. They will be taken for examination soon. It was a Solanagen-based race, and I have seen this before. When I served on the Enterprise, we attracted attention of aliens who existed solely in subspace. They abducted us, experimented on us. We did not know why, but their actions went far beyond mere curiosity. We were able to stop them before they established a pocket of subspace on board the ship, but not before they sent a burst of energy through. If these aliens served the Iconians, that energy could have been a message. Corrin was not taken without a fight. Of that I am sure. And this table has not been used yet. These aliens must be holding the others. It is only a matter of time before they will be examined as well, and the experiments can be deadly. Everyone here is in danger. We must find and free them.
We'll find the others.
There's a holding area down the hall. That guardian was damaged by the stalker. Corrin's work. We can overload the power cell on that guardian. It should last through the door.
Activity log. Perimeter sweep. No anomalies. Perimeter sweep. No anomalies. Unauthorized gateway access detected. Dispatching sentries. Unauthorized beings found. Taking appropriate measure. Unauthorized beings apprehended. Taken to holding cells to await examination.
There may be more guardians beyond this door.
I don't see Captain Sean or Mayak here.
There's no more time.
We need to stop wandering around this place and get back to New Romulus. Staying here is only going to get more of us killed.
No. There is still someone missing who could be saved. We are not leaving without them.
He's right. We keep looking. Sean is pale and unresponsive. His breathing is shallow and his pulse rate is dropping. He requires immediate medical attention. A tricorder scan shows that Sean's left arm and both antennae have been surgically amputated and then reattached. An unknown foreign substance has been introduced into his lymph nodes, and his superior vena cava has collapsed. Sean's cardiovascular and lymphatic systems have been seriously damaged by the experiments. He requires immediate medical attention. Suggested procedure is regenerate, restore, and purge. Regenerate, restore, and purge.
What happened? How... Can you help Mayak?
A quick tricorder scan reveals that Mayak's blood has been completely replaced with a synthetic liquid polymer. Even immediate medical attention would be no help. There are no defensive wounds on the body. Mayak didn't even get the chance to fight back. The cowards who did this should pay with their lives for such disrespect. Captain Sean?
There's nothing more we can do here.
If we want any hope of finding other survivors or stopping what's happening on New Romulus, we need to keep moving. Ambassador?
Agreed. The best way to honor Mayak's memory is to save his new home.
Agreed.
The gateway energy signature is emanating from somewhere across this expanse. We need to find a way across.
My scans indicate there's some sort of control system at work.
Perhaps we can use that to activate a connection to the next platform.
I'm picking up more of those automated defenses.
They're at my tricorder's maximum range, but they will be upon us quickly. The wounded are too weak to put up a fight. We should cross quickly and make our stand from a position of strength.
You should scout ahead. Karn and Shan will remain with the injured and defend them if the Guardian drones arrive.
Agreed.
Scout ahead. We will escort the others when the way is clear.
System Sol. Dominant species human. Servitor presence level 4 surveillance in effect. Ideal site for harvesting. Servitor races have used disease epidemics and internal conflicts in ancient past to gather specimens for study. Population is numerous but mostly peaceful. Poor candidates for servitor status. High creativity levels and self-preservation instinct make them inclined to fight rather than submit when faced by overwhelming foe. See Borg for more information. Can be aggressive when threatened. Recommend that all activities in system be covert until invasion is launched. Target for extermination. If Sol system is eliminated, models show that political entity known as Federation may collapse. Storage Facility Z98. Purpose: supply and transport servitor troops during expansion and pacification actions. Capacity: 4.7 million units. Docking stations: 220. Current status: error. Alert: storage facility Z98 has been in stasis mode for error cycles. Connection to gateway: unstable. System Kronos. Dominant species Klingon. Servitor presence level 4 surveillance in effect. Aggressive, warlike species that dominates this area of space. Strong tendencies to fight rather than submit. Harvesting programs in past have been problematic, only successful when used in concert with internal conflict. Possible candidate for servitor race. If key members of government and entities known as Great Houses could be used to direct rest of population. Military structure in most organization makes population already accustomed to taking orders from superiors. Recommend study of honor in society for use as tool for control. If population can be absorbed into servitor species, it would be a great addition to our fighting strength. If they cannot, extermination must be swift. We cannot give the Klingons a chance to organize against us.
Kronos. This is not a holodeck. It is a live image of my world.
System Vandros 4. Dominant species Dominion. Servitor presence level 9 surveillance in effect. Dominion scientists discovered an intact gateway 37 cycles ago, but it was destroyed by opposition forces before they could activate it. There are other gateways in the region that remain inactive. Agents are in place to stop the Dominion from discovering the location of these gateways before we are prepared. As to the Dominion themselves, we recommend observation but no engagement. The Dominion are organized and used to subjugating large numbers of species spread across a large area of space. When the Alpha and Beta quadrants are firmly under our control, then we will have the resources needed to conquer the Dominion as well. Alert: connection to gateway network unstable. Immediate attention required. Gateways 7,255. Gateways inactive 5,967. Gateways damaged or inoperative 880. Alert: gateways in Andromeda active. Alert: unauthorized connection to network detected in Hobus system. System New Romulus. Dominant species Romulan. Servitor presence level 8 surveillance in effect. Servitors of Romulan extermination have gathered on site of former D1 homeworld. They have uncovered sites belonging to servitor races and are attempting to reactivate Gateway. If Gateway is successfully activated, they may threaten an entire network. Attempts to use Alachi to eliminate threat unsuccessful. Alliance with Tal Shiar problematic. Romulans as a species show more self-determination and willpower than in previous observations. Leader known as Sela must be controlled or eliminated. Several key members of Romulan Republic Gateway research team have been taken for additional study without their knowledge. Brain scans of researcher Adrana have yielded vital information about project. Agents have used that information to destabilize Gateway. If activated, seismic instability will affect entire planet. Expected outcome is 70% reduction in population. Remaining survivors must not be allowed to form organized groups. Recommend subsuming them into Alachi as soon as possible.
New Romulus. The tectonic activity is getting worse. We must find a way to stop it.
System, Iconia. Dominant species, none. Servitor presence, level 1 surveillance in effect. The homeworld is still unsuitable for habitation, although servitor races have begun subspace modifications in preparation for invasion. When Quadrant is pacified, we will use forced labor to terraform world for our return. All must be as it was.
I know this planet.
Alert, safety measure Theta 6 in effect due to gateway instability. All space gateways for large ship movements have been withdrawn to subspace until network instability is addressed or proper activation codes are transmitted. System, Quara. Dominant species, Quarren. Servitor presence level 6 surveillance in effect. Industrious and technologically advanced planet. Extremely low level of automation means population must constantly refresh workforce. Use of radioactive mines to infect ship crews and bring them to Quara is interesting, but ultimately inefficient. We would require greater amounts of loyal servitors to pacify Delta Quadrant than this method would provide. Recommend cooperation and eventual inclusion as a servitor race. In exchange for their loyalty and detailed information on their indoctrination techniques, we will alleviate their manpower problems.
Does the Iconian influence reach so far?
Current status, ship, Obelisk 1, Servitor SOLANAE, status ready to deploy, activation codes authorized, waiting for navigational input.
This appears to be some sort of master control panel. I believe we can use it to open the gateway. Can we access the database? We must know what the Iconian plans are. We need to download the data and move everyone here before more Guardians arrive. I will remodulate the power system while you reroute the flow.
That's a star chart. Are all those markers Iconian gateways?
Look! That's the new Romulus gateway! The gateway on New Romulus was reset.
It wasn't the only one. Ambassador, we'll cover you as you download the data. The paths are retracting.
They know we're here, and I don't think they're happy.
Do you hear that? That doesn't sound good.
Security reinforcements are inbound. We should use this gateway.
Worf! We're out of time!
I have downloaded what I can. It is time to leave. We have cut the network's connection to the new Romulus gate, which should stabilize the situation there. There will be some damage on New Romulus, but it could have been far worse. This is a bridge. We have walking wounded, but some of us can still serve. Where do you want us?
This appears to be a tactical console which controls the ship's shields and power levels during combat, with secondary access to weapons. Captain Sean would be the most effective officer here. Worf? This panel provides bridge control for engineering functions, including damage control. Captain Karen has the necessary experience for this station. This is the primary weapons control. You can think of no one better suited for a position like this than Ambassador Worf. Sensor and deflector dish controls. Although Adrana lacks combat experience, she is the best choice for this station.
We have saved the Romulans' home world, but the gateways are open now. All of them. We do not know who will use them. It may be the Alachi, or it may be something far worse. We must warn everyone of what is coming.
Activate the gateway and take us out.
Receiving tactical telemetry. I'm detecting another gateway in the Jarrett system. It's big. Ship-sized.
The gateway is transmitting a high-band subspace signal. Sensors are picking up Elachi ships on an intercept course.
I suggest we go there and contact New Romulus for reinforcements.
Agreed. Can we use that gateway?
Not from here. I can make a gateway for us and set a destination close by, though.
Do it.
Taking us out.
Neat.
Sensors show that we are in the Jarrett system. Systems are all reading normal, but object sighted near the ship. It is an Iconian gateway.
Hail the Romulan Republic.
I'm very glad to see you all safely returned. When the quakes began, we lost all communications with the gateway chamber and feared the worst. But where did you go? Through the gateway? And what is that ship? I've never seen anything like it.
I'll provide a full report as soon as I can. Suffice it to say that we had to open the entire Iconian Gateway network to save New Romulus.
You reset... elements preserve us.
There could be hundreds of gates, thousands. Are they all active now? There was a ship-sized gateway hidden in subspace in this system.
Enough talk. The gateway is transmitting a signal. I am picking up a corresponding one from an entire fleet of Alachi ships on an intercept course. Send every available ship. We must fight if we are to survive.
Sending reinforcements now. Good luck, and may the elements protect us all.
We will hold the Alachi here until reinforcements arrive.
There is still the matter of what to do about the gateway. That discussion cannot be delayed.
Agreed.
The Alachi forces have been destroyed. No further hostiles inbound. Captain Shan, the Enterprise should scan the gateway. We need to know more.
Agreed. But we should destroy that gateway now, while we still have the chance.
No! That gateway is in Romulan space. It belongs to the people of the Romulan Republic.
Another invading force could arrive at any moment.
Afraid of a fight, Captain?
Corrin, prudence is not cowardice. The gateways are powerful. They may be too much for any of us to control.
We should disable it before it becomes another threat to the Romulans, and to us all.
How is this different from the wormhole near Bajor? This is a strategic and scientific asset, and it belongs to my people. Captain Shan, if you destroy the gateway, I can assure you that Titan will reconsider our friendly relations with the Federation.
The Klingon Empire will fully support our Romulan allies in this matter.
Enterprise to Captain Shan. Sir, we've been scanning the gateway.
What did you find?
The terminus is at a fixed point now. We can determine that. But then, I don't know what we picked up, but the monitors on the bridge are all showing an Omega. We're We're locked out of the computer, and engines are offline. We need you back on the Enterprise, sir.
I see. That changes things significantly.
Indeed it does. I should return to the Bortisque. Worf will be waiting for you. Corin to the Bortisque. 1 to transport.
I should return to New Romulus immediately.
Ambassador, it was a pleasure to work with you. I wish we could have had that talk.
Agreed. Another time. Send my regards to your chief engineer, Captain.
I'll let Chief O'Brien know. Sean to Enterprise. Transport me directly to my ready room.
Today was a glorious battle. You have won much honor for yourself and your allies. It seems there are larger conflicts that all of our people will need to face. If we are to survive, we may need to face them together. It was an honor to fight beside you.
Gabla. When we found the Iconian Gateway, we thought it was a means for us to re-establish ourselves as a power in the Quadrant. By harnessing its power, we thought it would help us prosper and open a new era of exploration. I never imagined it would nearly destroy our new home so soon after we found it. Never again will we let hubris blind us. You have saved our world from ruin, and you may have found the opportunities for which I hoped. Thank you, Dahar Master.